How's it going, everyone? This is Jose Trujillo. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm gonna do another video painting one of my oil paintings, and this one's gonna be a still life. Let's do a still life with some flowers and whatnot, just because we can. Let's flip this over like that. There we go. Oh, it's more of a still life. So, let's do this. All right. So I've had different questions that have been popping up. You know, the process of being an artist is an interesting thing. I've discovered that first of all, some people have, I think of me as if I'm an art instructor or something like that, but I'm not. I just want to make that clear, guys. I'm just an artist, you know. I just kind of share my daily routine, you know, showing you guys what I'm going through, things I'm discovering, things I'm thinking about, stuff that has helped me in the past, and that, you know, stuff that I'm doing right now that also helps me. And I think it's interesting, just the whole thing, you know, being an artist. It's if you're not careful, you start thinking that you're not supposed to work if you're not careful. If you're not careful, you start thinking that you're an inventor rather than you know, an artist, an artisan, someone who's creating artwork. You start thinking that you're going to come up with some, I don't know, you're going to learn some style, or you're going to come up with some concoction of, you know, technique or you know, one of those things. And you start thinking that it has nothing or very little to do with work, that it has everything to do with how special, you know, how special your artwork is, or how special how much you think about it, and, you know, how deep is it. Before you know, you start thinking that way, and it's not your fault to a certain degree. You know, part of it is that we've been conditioned to think this way. We've been conditioned to think that you're going to create some sort of special something, you know, some artwork, we've been told this over and over by different people, you know, in the art communities, that you're going to be able to come up with something completely original, completely special, and therefore you don't have to work that much. You're going to do one or two paintings, and, you know, or a handful of them, and the world is going to say, "Oh, where have you been? We've been waiting for you." You know, and this is completely, of course, erroneous. There's no such thing as that. If there is, maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe there is. I can't completely say. Hey, awesome. From Paris. I can't completely say that the art, that there's no artists out there who just kind of stumble upon their success. I don't know. I never heard of them. Some people try to say that, that they kind of stumbled up on their success. But I think they're just being, you know, kind of meek. You know, they're like, well, I don't know, I'm not that special, or you know, but they're doing something. They're doing something. They're working something very, very, very hard at something. They just don't like to think of themselves as, or they don't want that, you know, to reflect that. They want to focus on their work or whatever. But again, what I'm talking about here is that we've been conditioned to think that, and what I mean, we as artists, we've been conditioned to think that you're gonna create some special art, and then you don't have to really work that much. And you know, I mean, just think of any artist. Think of, and I'm not talking about visual artists. Think of a singer, songwriter, hip hop artist, rock artist, anyone. Think of them and see how much they really work. Yeah. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I keep seeing how this keeps hunting us. You know, people keep saying that. Artists keep saying, oh, if I just know this one style, if I just learn how to paint like this, if I just use this brush, if I just, you know, and of course, again, that's completely erroneous. Yes, that might help us get somewhere a little bit further in terms of process or whatever, but that is not why. Thank you so much, Cassandra. That is absolutely not why. The reason why things work for some artists and don't work for others is it's nothing but work. And you know, I know I'm always kind of like making light of this because it is supposed to be, you know. But I don't want to misjudge. I don't want to mislead anyone into thinking that it's not a lot of donkey work. Like being an artist is a lot of donkey work. You know, it's just a lot of hours and it's a lot of work. But if it's your thing, you're gonna be all right with it. If it's not, you know, you might think, this is what it used to be for me. I'm gonna figure out one way to create something super special that the world is just gonna be like, oh man, where have you been? We're waiting for you. So I spent a lot of time doing that and not working really. I mean working, but more in the sense of just kind of thinking about stuff. You know, oh, if I know this technique, if I learn Photoshop correctly, if I know how to do this that this artist does, or you know, if I can take better pictures and for my artwork so I can sell it better. If I just had a salesperson, you know, an agent that would take care of that for me instead of me, and on and on and on and on. And I think that's extremely, it hurts your career so much you have no idea to think that way. It keeps you in lack, because until you have that, until you learn what this artist is doing, until you learn how to take better pictures of your artwork, until that happens, then you're going to be able to shine. Then, you know, it's kind of like this used to happen to me. This is the reason I'm saying this, guys. It used to happen to me that if I know it's a sure deal, I'm gonna go with everything. And of course, that's anyone who's done anything would laugh at that. Of course not. You can never know it's a sure deal. You have to go with everything regardless of. You can never figure out if it's going to be a sure deal or not. You don't know if you're going to become a gallery artist. You don't know if you're going to become a licensed artist, or you're going to become famous, or you're going to start selling your work, or this technique is going to help you sell work, or that technique is going to, you know, make you look more advanced, or you don't know that, you know. I mean, look at Peter Max. He's a great example of just very hard work. I know people like to say, a lot of people don't like him, and I mean, whatever, that doesn't bother him. He probably lost his way to the bank with people not liking him. What I'm trying to say is that his technique is so simple, yet it's so rooted because he's worked at it so long. And yet, there's people that don't like him, and then there's people that are like, I'll give you all my money, Mr. Max. Here you go, take it. And regardless of what it is, the reality is that it's just work. How's it going? How's it going, Mary? Cassandra says Outliers. I think who said my wife was reading a book. Honey, were you reading a book called Outliers? She's in the other room. I think she's reading a book about that. Kind of predisposition of having something work. But yeah, I mean, regardless of what it is, a lot of people don't like this message, and I tend to go for this type of messages. I don't know why. I mean, some people are like, just paint, and then maybe this ain't your jam. If I just paint, there's thousands, maybe millions of people on YouTube just painting. I like to talk about my process. I like to talk about what's going on in my head and how to remove that clutter in order to move forward. And I realize that I'm not alone, that a lot of artists go through this. A lot of artists go through the whole thing of, man, if I just knew this one thing is going to save me, or this. I remember thinking, if I just learn better composition, then people are going to just love my work. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to learn more. But to tying, in other words, I was saying, I won't work hard unless I have that down. I'm going to wait till I have that down. And that is that's the illusion. It's the illusion. It's kind of like, I won't exercise unless I go to the gym, or unless I have this machinery, or unless I, that's been me for a while. and it's an illusion. It's just an illusion. It's preventing us from moving forward. So that's the kind of jam I talk about here, guys. I hope I'm not trying to offend anyone. I hope no one feels like, oh man, he's talking about me. How could that be? No. I'm talking about my experiences, and the reason I say them so bluntly is because I know that it can't just be me. Thank you so much. So that's what I come to realize. It's one of those things that. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. In other words, there's no one thing that's going to save you. Learning a style, painting with oils, painting with acrylics, painting with I don't know, chalk if you want to, crayons. Whatever it is, it will come down to one thing: how much do you work? How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to pay for it? Whatever it is that you want. Maybe you want to learn how to paint really well. Maybe you want to be the next Chuck Close. Maybe you want to, I don't know. For me, I have a lot to say, I think. As if you haven't noticed that already. Yeah? For me, I have to paint a lot of work. And some people that look at my work, I think sometimes get confused. They think that I'm just painting a lot because, I don't know, it's just fun. It is fun, but I grow a lot in just creating artwork. For me, this is the process. For other people, it's only, I mean, for Dali, it was a couple of artworks, you know, very major, massive artworks, large, you know, substantial masterworks, and then a lot of maybe smaller drawings and whatnot. But that was his jam, you know. It was concentrate on those showpieces many times. Handy Wiley's another great artist right now. He concentrates a lot on this major pieces, right? For me, I would love that, just to concentrate on a handful of pieces. And I don't think Handy concentrates on a handful. It's more than a handful. That guy is, I don't know, in my opinion, it's just one of the finest things we've ever had in the art world. In my opinion, he's up there with Rubens. He would actually kick Rubens' ass right now. He's just that good. And I'm not talking about the artwork itself, the execution or whatnot, but the depth in which he took it in a social commentary. I'll leave you guys with that. The name is Jose Trujillo, the world's greatest living artist. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I do sometimes. Have a great day, guys. And be gentle to yourselves. Don't forget that. Take care. Bye-bye.